Hi everyone, my name is Rose Smith from AbsoluteSoulSecrets.com. Thanks for joining me today. I really appreciate you viewing this video. I'm actually a psychic astrologer. I often have visions when I read, and sometimes I use tarot as well, and I'll be using tarot today while doing your horoscope. So I draw two cards for the first and the second half of the month because they generally work in pretty well with the horoscope. Well, we're almost at the end of 2022 and we're going into 2023 very shortly, and I have started the 2023 horoscope, so I'll get them up as soon as I can, and that'll give an overall view for what's going to happen in 2023. We've had a real roller coaster actually this year. The other thing I want to mention is that not only is your sun sign really important, but also your moon and your ascendant are as well. And most people know what their sun sign actually is, but some people don't know what their moon or their ascendant is. So you can always go to one of those free websites and do a free report for yourself. So there's one like, for example, astro.com. I'm not recommending them, but I'm just saying you can find out what your moon and ascendant are if you run a report for yourself. The other things that are happening, it's not as turbulent as November, thankfully. There's no eclipses. Chiron and Neptune are turning direct, so that might present an opportunity for some spiritual healing during the month. Mars is retrograde until January 12th, so that might slow things down a bit. Maybe you don't feel as energetic as you normally do, or you might feel a bit unmotivated. Sometimes it can come out as peevishness or feeling a bit miffed, so do watch for explosions and sparks and arguments. So there is a possibility of conflict there. Mercury goes retrograde in Capricorn, and that is on the 29th until the 18th of January 2023. Now, a week or 10 days either side of those dates is a thing called the shadow period, where the energy is coming on or going off. It's not a good time for travel. It's not a good time to be signing important documents while Mercury is retrograde or in shadow, if you can help it. Sometimes technology plays up, and it can just be a bit of a dog's breakfast. Do back up your all of your important work, because sometimes things can happen with technological glitches and things. But on the plus side, anything that you start before, say, around the 20th, it often gives you a boost to finish that thing. If you're having a problem getting stuff finished, you might feel like you go back to the past in some way, and sometimes people you used to know can also come back from the past as well. And because it's in Capricorn, there's likely to be real physical effects, so some sort of concrete manifestation around that. Alrighty, so I'm going to now look at the major aspects, some of the major aspects, not all of them. We'll be here all day. So do listen to this if you're interested, or you can flick ahead to the timestamps. Okay, so here we go. These are the main astrological influences. The stars impel, they do not compel. Okay, so on the 3rd of December, there's Neptune in Pisces turning direct. This could be quite a spiritual time. When Neptune moves ahead in Pisces, the signs most strongly affected are Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius and Pisces. On the 4th of December, the Sun trines Chiron in Aries, and this suggests an positive, easy-flowing energy, probably about healing, insight and awareness. The 6th, Mercury enters Capricorn, bringing practical communications and ideas for all signs, especially affecting Capricorns, Geminis and Virgoans. The 7th of the month sees a full moon in Gemini, bringing up subconscious communications, dreams, Freudian slips, secret or hidden messages can also come out, so be careful there. On the 8th of December, the Sun is opposing Mars, which could bring quite intense conflict or competition. You might feel as if you need to fight someone or a situation in order to preserve your own rights. It's a good idea to know the difference between being assertive and aggressive or combative. And remember the old saying, you can catch more flies with sugar than vinegar. Seriously, in the first instance, try to be peaceful, try to present a balanced approach to any potential difficult situation, because you can actually avoid the worst of it. You can avoid an argument if you take a balanced approach. On the 9th, Venus enters Capricorn. This is all about practical ways of showing your feelings, including affection. And it's also gives you the opportunity to make your life more beautiful and peaceful. Perhaps you want to make things fair and just around you, which is fair enough. The 14th sees Mercury sextiling Neptune, Mercury retrograde after the 29th. But before that, and particularly before the 22nd, it's a very spiritual time with messages coming from your spirit, through your subconscious, or possibly through other people or perhaps events. Your intuition is likely to be heightened, and your logical mind probably recedes into the background just a bit. You could live closer to the world of the divine, and your imagination is probably on fire. Logical thinking could be strongly affected, especially for Pisces, Virgo and Gemini. The 20th sees Jupiter entering Aries, and this brings a lot of spontaneous growth and perhaps some good luck for the next year or so, depending on what house Jupiter is in. Whatever it is, it's likely to expand. So when you click the timestamp, I'll go into that more when I do your horoscope there. The 21st sees the Sun entering Capricorn, and it's Capricorn season, so happy birthday to all early Capricorns. Practicality, groundedness and getting stuff done is a major theme. And of course, it's always important to feel your feelings and then release difficult situations, sending them out into the universe for resolution. It's a good point if you can forgive yourself and others, lest you get stuck in Capricornian mud. Okay, so let them go, because, it doesn't hurt them, it's hurting you. The 21st of December, Saturn is sextiling Mercury, and your communications are more clear-cut and organised. You probably are communicating effectively, and your thinking is likely clearer than usual. You are likely to be more objective and perhaps a little bit less intuitive, okay, because your mind is so sharp and clear. It's a great time for doing logical work. On the 23rd, Chiron turns direct, and there could be some wounds from the past that come back for healing. So it's a good time to be gentle on yourself, not to take on too much, especially with Christmas around the corner if you celebrate Christmas. Do take good care of yourself. On the 23rd, the new moon in Capricorn is a time of practical beginnings, so plant some seeds, put in some preparation so that you can achieve later. It's a time of growth and renewal. And there's likely to be lots of planetary energy in Capricorn this month, so you can really get stuff done. Just remember to keep your feet on the ground. This energy will help you do that. The 29th sees Mercury retrograde until the 18th of January. As I mentioned before, it's in Capricorn. So do watch for concrete manifestations, especially regarding misunderstanding or perhaps technology glitches. Travel could be affected, so allow plenty of time to get to where you're going, especially if you've got multiple legs in your itinerary, because there could be delays. Tricksters around Christmas time especially are possible, because Mercury retrograde is symbolic of the trickster, basically, and that also could come into being from around the 20th, 22nd when it's in shadow, or after the 18th when it's in shadow for a week or 10 days. And the last day of the month, the Sun trine the North Node, brings a lot of an awareness and insight about your future destiny. There's an easy flow of energy that gives you hints perhaps about your life mission or what you're supposed to be doing in life. It's a time of realising that the future holds much more for you personally. So, let's get into these star signs now. Hello, awesome Aries. Well, let's pick your cards and see what they have to hold for December. Okay, we'll go to the board now. Okay, so 2 cards for the first and second half of the month. Okay, I've got my eyes closed now. I get you cutting back on something. It's almost like closing a door to something, and it's so that you can move on. It's almost like you perhaps wasted a bit of time, or you feel like you're not getting what you're supposed to get out of a situation. And so it's like move on. And there's a lot of white stars here in front of me flashing as well, which is like a sign of hope, or there we go, a sign of hope, or even maybe good luck. Here we have the Sun, and this is fabulous to start December for you. It's all about security, warmth, comfort, enlightenment, bringing the light of insight into your life. So it's fabulous. You're going to see things with a much clearer vision, and it's almost like the veils are falling from your eyes. So you're going to see things more clear-cut than ever before. But even happiness is possible with this card. So actually I'll just put it here, is probably better, because we're going to look at your horoscope in a moment. Okay, and the second half of the month, closing my eyes now, cards going in all sorts of directions. Maybe there's a bit of chaos. But let's see. Yes, and okay, so the second part of this is opening doors. So doors closing, then doors opening. And I see you, it's like with your hand on a handle to pull the handle down to open up to a new situation. There is some effort involved, but it's not a lot to get going. It's something that you can do and that is within your grasp. And here we have the Ace of Pentacles, new beginnings, often to do with your money supply. Okay, so it could be that you've been putting a lot of energy into something, but it's just not paying the way that you thought it would. And to keep on keeping on with it, you might be, chasing something that is very difficult, throwing good money after bad perhaps. You'll see there's a lot of clouds in the background here, and that's almost like it's all too much. Okay, so there's the cards. Now let's whip into your horoscope now. So I'm going to make this bigger like that. There we go. All right, so you've got a T-square here. It's actually your ruler Mars, which gives you a lot of energy, and it's almost like you can't be stopped. It's hard to stop you. So Mars is down here in your communications, promotions, even study zone. And this is making an opposition up here to Venus conjunct Mercury, or Mercury conjunct Venus. And so this is about communicating in a very elegant, smooth, beautiful, peaceful, polite way. And this energy here is almost too much. And so it could be like you want to be beautiful and polite, but sometimes it comes out too forcefully. So just watch that. And here we have Neptune over here. In your 12th house. It's a very spiritual sort of energy that's going on as well. So Mars is more masculine, more actively focused in the external world, and then you have Neptune over here in your inner world, really directing you. And this is the focal point, Neptune here in your inner world. It's basically saying that listen to your spirit first, and then your communications, your thoughts, and how you are in broadening your life may have to temper Mars just a little bit. Okay, so we also have from the 4th to the 30th, Jupiter conjuncture Ascendant. This is fabulous because it gives you more confidence. You could be feeling more optimistic and you have more faith in yourself to make changes. You're likely to be successful in these changes. And we also have at the same time Jupiter square your MC. So it's like you're going to, here's your MC up here, it's like you're going to attempt to change your work, or, you know, turn it into a career, a vocation, something that makes your heart sing. But Jupiter's here in the 12th house, which is more about inner reflection and expanding your spirituality. And it could be that you seek new employment or a promotion, or you want to raise your finances in some way, okay, in alignment with this card here, Ace of Pentacles, new beginnings. So you feel better and ready for a new upgrade or a promotion, but just watch you don't, you're not too overconfident with it. Sometimes Jupiter can bring that. The 6th of December, Mercury enters Capricorn here, all squashed in together into your career zone. So there's a real party going on in this house, and it is all about upgrading your career, your status, your reputation, or perhaps even a relationship with a parent or some authority figure. With Mercury here, it's about bright communications. It's about enhancing your reputation through your communications, and crack on earlier in the month, because on the 29th Mercury does go retrograde, which could bring some confusion or delay. The full moon is in Gemini on the 8th of December or 7th, depending where you are. This shakes things up here in your communications, perhaps even study, or in your local area. There could be something going on that is a bit turbulent. You could also hear from long-lost siblings or distant relatives. And promotions and marketing could be a little bit bumpier than usual. The 9th sees Venus entering Capricorn up here. See very Capricornian energy happening here in your career zone. And so it's all about being physical, getting real concrete results, okay, which fits with this Ace of Pentacles, because if you're going to earn money, you need the actual money, not just the idea of it, so to speak. Then we have on the 20th of December, Jupiter enters Aries here. This is all about expanding how you approach the world. It's likely you'll make a big statement to the world in some way. You could come out with some sort of expansive vision. And you want your core beliefs out there in the world. You've got a message. So, yeah, do it. Make your statement. Then we have, and one more thing. If you are watching your weight, how much you weigh, just be careful here. Jupiter is likely to, expand your waistline, because everything that Jupiter touches, it expands. So just watch that. Okay, 21st sees the Sun entering Capricorn up here, joining the party, and it's also bringing a lot of insight and awareness to the situation with your career. If you're not working, by the way, this can also be your general life direction, especially when the new moon is conjunct the MC, which I'll talk about the new moon in a moment. Then we have the new moon in Capricorn. There it is. It will likely bring a concrete or physical change. So you could get a new job or a side hustle. Your status or relationship with a parent may become more of a focus now. And there's new beginnings in the public areas of your life, so do plant some seeds now. The 24th to the 3rd of January 2023 sees your ruler Mars opposition the Sun. Just watch this period across the holiday time, especially at Christmas if you celebrate Christmas, because there could be some sort of conflict or arguments. You need to stand up for your rights in the face of some personal situation. However, try to be as peaceful as you can and be very measured in your approach. You know, if you feel like they're attacking you or something, don't let it go. Say something, but be measured in the way that you do that. And finally, 29th of December to the 31st of December, Venus is sextiling the moon. This is an excellent time for entertaining. Give a party at your home. You're feeling hospitable, loving. And you probably just want to share your affection with close friends or family. And you could also be interested in home improvements or beautifying your surroundings in some way. Well, that's it. I hope this is helpful for you, Aries. Do check out your moon and your ascendant sign too. Have a fabulous day. Thank you. Hello and welcome, terrific Taurus. Thanks for watching today. Let's get on with your horoscope. I'll do the cards first. So we'll go to the board. Okay, so we do two cards, one for the first half of the month and one for the second. And I'm closing my eyes now. And what I'm seeing is a path to my right. And it's like it's a bit dark where I am. Maybe you haven't had all of the information that you needed to make a decision. The door is opening up. It's not fully open yet, but it will be soon, and walking into the light. It involves using your brain because it's on the right. So a lot of thinking needs to go on, planning and strategizing. The card that comes out is the Page of Pentacles. This has been a real theme card lately that's been coming up for everyone. It's about your money. It usually means that there's some sort of news coming about money. I'm an optimist, so I always think it's good news. The black here, the darkness I was talking about, and then the light here around the throat, the white colour. You don't have all of the information yet, but you have some information, and there's more coming, and then action will be taken about your money. So that could be something to do with making more money, or maybe saving or budgeting. And look here, we have Mars retrograde here at the moment in your second house of finances. So it's like, yes, it's there, but it's slow. You know, the thoughts are internalized. There's no action or very little action being put out into the outside world. That's all getting a shake-up. I'll talk about that. You also have a number of planets at the moment here in your house of shared resources. I'll talk about that too. All right, the second half of the month, let's have a look. Closing my eyes. I see a ship on the ocean. Yes, again, it's the same sort of thing. It's not sailing, it's just sort of sitting there. I've just forgotten the term when, you know, a yacht is just, the sails are down, there's no wind. So there is a term for it. Let me know in the comments. That's so frustrating when I can't think of the word, but I'm not a sailor. I'm sure my relatives were. Okay, the card that comes up, my ancestors. The Chariot, this has also come out a fair bit. You will be charging ahead soon and manifesting in your life on a physical level. Take the bull by the horns and do something. At the moment, it's just like you're thinking about it. Perhaps you're thinking about how you can improve things. It's always important to listen to your intuition. You see these two Egyptian cats here, the Egyptian god Bast. And so listen to your intuition to tell you when the timing is right to move ahead with your plan. She's got a scepter here in her hand. That's about royalty, sovereignty, and being in control of your life. All right, let's go to the main, let's zoom the main board now. And I just don't like that crooked. There we go. All right, keep those two cards in mind because they often do come up. The first thing I want to talk about is this T squared. We have this red sort of triangle, and we have the focal point here at Neptune in Pisces in your 11th house of friends, groups and associations. This is being challenged by Mars here in your financial zone, personal finances, and the full moon is soon going to come and conjunct Mars and really give you, I want to say a bit of a shake-up, but it's more like a kick in the pants. I'm sorry. But yeah, you're going to have a realisation that there could be some improvements made, not only with your personal finances, but maybe possessions or the things that you value. You're going to do a rethink about what you think is important, what is valuable in your life. And that's not always money, of course. And that is opposing joint finances held with another person, a company, or maybe a government agency. Okay, so, and particularly Venus here. So we have Venus and Mercury conjunct, and there could be some communications and fresh ideas coming. So if you're in receipt of government benefits, that's an example, because there are in Australia, for example, there's lots and lots of different government benefits. There's going to be some sort of new some sort of news that you're going to hear coming up about the benefits that you receive. Then that is square Neptune, okay? So Neptune brings a very spiritual sort of energy to any groups, associations, or the hopes and dreams that you have. However, there are difficulties with it. It is challenging, but with squares, it's the sort of challenges that can bring something rewarding in the future. So there is a lot happening here. But growth and expansion is also on the cards. All right, so the 6th of December, Mercury enters Capricorn here in your 9th house, and this is the house of the higher mind. This is where a lot of thinking and planning and strategizing comes out, as I was just saying a moment ago in my vision. So some fresh ideas and communications, and that's added to with Venus, your MC, the Sun, and Pluto. So there's a lot of expansionary energy around you, dear Taurus. Then we have the full moon down here in your 2nd house here of finances, I just mentioned before, shaking things up. And there might be some news coming about your personal finances or your possessions. Your ideas could be tempered with emotions, so the logical side of your mind isn't as sharp around the 9th, so just be careful of making decisions about money then. The 20th of December, Jupiter enters your 12th house here, which is fabulous for your spirituality, with Jupiter changing signs into Aries here. You could find that you're having a lot of dreams, a lot of little psychic flashes or awarenesses, realizations coming in the daytime or as you go to sleep or wake up, as your subconscious is giving you messages, okay? At some point, Jupiter and Chiron will be conjunct, but that'll be a few months away yet, but there could be a big realization about a healing that's taking place deep down within. We also have on the 21st, the Sun bringing insight and awareness here in your 9th house, joining the party here. This party is all about you expanding your life, growing your horizons. The world is so much bigger than you knew. You might be looking at study, you might be looking at travelling, having more to do with foreign countries or culture or people. Somehow those foreign connections are coming in very strongly. With Venus in there too, it could be that you meet somebody from a foreign country and they become a good friend, or even, possibly there's romance on the cards. But it's more about, not the actual romantic side, it's more about growing your life and just becoming a bigger person in a spiritual sense, not in a physical sense. So very exciting. The new moon's in there as well, bringing new beginnings. And because it's all happening in Capricorn, there's likely to be real physical changes. So it's more than you just thinking about it or hoping or dreaming or having the emotions. There's actual physicality to it. And you could also adopt a new philosophy or change your belief systems. And it's a great time to plant some seeds now. Then we have your ruler Venus sextiling the moon from the 29th to the 31st, so right at the end of the month. And it is an excellent time to have company over or to give a party at your home. You're probably feeling very hospitable and loving, and you want to share comfort and affection with close friends and family perhaps. You might also have home improvements or beautifying your surroundings on your mind as well, because Venus loves beauty and she also loves to spend money. So that could also be an issue with so much going on in your money zone, okay? So just be careful of overspending, because Venus will be prompting you to do that. But yeah, there's so much happening. The theme for you, I would say, would be careful and considered spending, okay? Alrighty, so that's it. Terrific, Taurus. I hope this is useful for you. Leave a comment. I really appreciate that, or a like. That'd be fantastic too, or share on your socials. Thanks and bye for now. Hello, gorgeous Geminis. Well, another month rolls around. Let's have a look at your December horoscope now, and we'll see what the cards have got to say. Okay. Alrighty. So, two cards. The first card, the first half of the month. What do I see? I see the T, the letter T. So you're coming up to, it's like a T junction. A choice, a decision. Are you going left or right? It could also relate to the T-square here that I'm going to talk about in a moment. So let's see what card comes out for you. The Ace of Pentacles. Okay, so fabulous new beginning around your finances, your possessions, or maybe even your physical body, but that's probably less likely. There's an arbor here. There could be some sort of initiation process or portal that you travel through to come to a clearer picture in your mind, okay, because there is a little bit of confusion perhaps, or uncertainty. But Spirit is literally handing you a gift. There's like some opportunity to begin again. All right, let's have a look at the second half of the month for you, gorgeous Geminis. Okay, I close my eyes. I've got a lot of green here, growth and opportunity, and green does sometimes reflect money as well. Okay, it's like you could be looking younger this month, or I see a clock and the hands are going backwards. This could also refer to Mercury retrograde, which appears to go backwards at the end of the month. Mars is already retrograde, but something from the past is coming back perhaps. And the card that comes out is the Four of Cups. You may have some reflections or memories, or perhaps currently with a current partner, if you have one, there may be some kind of memory of disappointment, okay? So a loss in love. It seems that there's quite a spiritual connection with this person, which is, if you're not together anymore, that explains why you think of this person from time to time, because you still have this spiritual connection. It is most probably a love relationship because of this red rose down here. But this is only passing, this is only fleeting. And I don't know, depending on your monitor, you might see that there's a lot of new butterflies, okay? So new life coming in, and different varieties, different colours. Spirit is handing you a gift. Remember the past. Look at the situation, what your part, make an endeavour to look at your part in that situation. There is a lot of growth and opportunity around this, okay? So something good can come of it. You might make fresh new decisions. about your relationships, your future relationships, or your current relationships, about you know, what you expect. Now let's talk about this T-square. So your ruler Mercury down here will be moving into your house of shared resources and intimacy soon. And it is conjunct Venus. Venus, that's probably why this card has come up, because Venus is in love with love and has a certain idea about what love means, but sometimes we're disappointed in that, okay? And these two are conjunct. That means they're very close. They affect each other. So you're getting some sort of communications coming through. If it's a current relationship, it could be a very committed or important relationship especially. This is all square Neptune. Neptune up here in your 10th house of career or reputation, or perhaps even a parent. This person here from the past could be like a parent in some way, okay? And perhaps there was some pattern repeating from a parent. But Neptune sometimes sees things with rose-coloured glasses, or doesn't see the full picture. It's sort of Neptune sees what Neptune wants to see. And so there can be some sort of illusion around that. And these grey clouds in the background are sort of like the illusion of Neptune, which is also having not a very good time with Mars, which is retrograde here, in the way that you approach the world, how you move forward into the world, and the statements about who you are, you know. So yeah, this is a bit challenging, but the other side of it is that these challenges will make you grow, and there is growth here. So it's only for a temporary amount of time. It's not forever. Jupiter is sextiling your ascendant from the 4th to the 30th. So this is fabulous for you. It's likely to be quite an enjoyable time. Things run more smoothly. Your work is likely to take a more enjoyable turn now. Pressure and deadlines are lifted. You could be asked out to attend some sort of event or celebration, and or maybe perhaps even travel, and all of that is fun. You should go. Don't stay at home like a wallflower. And you may well think, geez, this is really good. I'm having a really good time. So, yeah, go out and enjoy it. The 6th sees your ruler Mercury entering Capricorn here in this house of shared resources. So there could be communications about this, and it has real physical effects because it's in Capricorn. So there's going to be some sort of physical change. There's a real sort of party of energy that will be going on here soon. But enjoy it up until about the 22nd of the month, because then we're in shadow period to Mercury retrograde on the 29th. And there's a holiday break at Christmas time. So you might find that anything to do with real estate, loans, 401k or superannuation or inheritance goes sort of quiet for a while. The 7th or 8th, depending where you are, full moon is in your sign. And so this could be quite turbulent. It's here, over here in your sign. So this means that your values, the core things that you believe, and the way that you approach the world, how you put your message out to the world, could be particularly affected. You might really be looking at updating your appearance or changing your identity, or perhaps you realise that you are what you are, but your outward expression of who you are hasn't been in alignment, so you'll probably change that. The 9th of December, Venus also enters Capricorn here in this 8th house, bringing a lovely, smooth, harmonious energy to any discussions about investments, real estate, or perhaps even intimacy with Venus. Venus loves love. If you do have a current partner, then you might even talk about, where you would like your intimate life to go, perhaps. You could meet somebody beautiful in connection with shared assets such as loans or banking, or anything that you do with another person of a financial nature, or maybe even a company or the government. The 19th to the 26th sees Mars trining your MC up here. This is fabulous to propel you further into broadening your life's horizons. The 9th house here is where your MC is the house of the higher mind. You could be looking at study, you could be looking at travel, particularly overseas travel. It's very good news. Okay, long-range goals could also change, and anything you decide is likely to be successful or effective. And it's a great time for independent action, self-reliance, or maybe even taking more of a leadership role. Okay, so move ahead on that. 21st sees the Sun entering Capricorn here. Again, bringing insight, awareness around your joint resources or intimate life. And there's just a huge energetic party here, which really indicates that you're likely to gain insight and wisdom into, improving your joint resources or improving your intimate life in some way. Jupiter enters Aries in the 11th house here. This is likely to expand your hopes and dreams, but also your friends, groups and connections. So that's very positive, can bring good luck. The new moon is in Capricorn as well, bringing new beginnings around your shared resources and intimate life. Okay, so that's it, gorgeous Geminis. Don't forget to go and check out your moon and your ascendant signs here on this video. Check in with the timestamps, and have a fabulous month. Thanks and bye for now. Hello, caring Cancerians. So glad that you're here watching today. Okay, so let's move to the board and we'll have a look at your horoscope. Okay, so we'll do the cards first and see what comes up for the first half of the month with the first card. Okay, I do have a lot of birds flying high in the skies, so taking the big picture view, maybe you might even have a sense that you can see into the future in some way. Okay, and do watch, I'm just getting a pain in one of my teeth, upper jaw right side, and it's not the back ones, it's sort of the ones not in the front but halfway along. You might need to get your teeth checked. Okay, so let's have a look, and the card that comes up is the Seven of Wands. Okay, it could be some conflict or some really strong competition around you this month. People are challenging you perhaps, and probably with this T-square that I'll talk about in a moment. But, it's the kind of energy, when you get challenged under a T-square, that it actually ends up being positive for you because it brings an absolute ton of growth your way. You've got the courage, so don't worry, you'll be fine. There's action being taken here, and just try and remain as peaceful as you possibly can. Okay, so that's the first card. Then we'll have a look in the second half of the month for you. What do I see? I see a triangle, of course. Well, here we go here. Could be a love triangle, or it could indicate you and two other people, and that might be part of the disagreement. But that's okay, you'll come out on top. Let's see what card we get. Okay, Page of Pentacles. So good news. I always think it's good because I'm optimistic about your money. You hear something about your money which perhaps is long overdue. news comes, and then you're in a better place to take action, okay? You don't have all of the information yet. I feel legalities, maybe you have a claim or something like that. Some of you anyway, not all of you. You have some knowledge, but you don't have all of the knowledge, but you do have enough energy to make a decision about something, which is fairly important. Okay, let's make this bigger now. And you'll see now more clearly the T-square that I was talking about involving Neptune here. And this is about growing your life in a very spiritual way, your spirituality growing and blossoming up here in Pisces. In your 9th house, you could think about study or improving your mind, reading. You could be doing a lot of research into something. However, we have Venus and Mercury down here. So this is called a square, this angle here. Venus and Mercury are conjunct when this is going on at the beginning of the month. And it's here in your everyday life, or perhaps your work, something that you do regularly. This could be sort of the communications. You may be very nice and polite, but somehow maybe you're looking at a situation with rose-coloured glasses and not seeing the full situation, but this will change very shortly. Mars is over here, retrograde in your 12th house, could just be causing a bit of a stir deep down there. We also have the full moon. At some point these will be together, conjunct, and so you could get sort of turbulent subconscious forces coming up. Just my advice to you, dear Cancer, would be to remain calm, focus on peace, focus on beautiful things, and just imagine, do a lot of meditation and imagine flowers and things like that, and try to be as calm as possible. On the 6th, Mercury enters Capricorn here, and this brings lots of good ideas and communications to your important or committed relationships. If you do have any legal matters, there is some sort of movement here, which could be quite positive. It's also people that you don't normally get along with very well, but there could be an improvement there, especially when Venus goes in here. I'll talk about that in a moment. Your ruler, the moon, is in Gemini over here, as I said before, and it is causing a little bit of turbulence from deep down. That's okay. Just focus on your meditations, focus on your dreams. You need to have more privacy than usual. You need to be quieter and by yourself. It's time for self-reflection. You could also notice an increase in your psychic abilities or your intuition. You may feel more emotional, but the emotion, it's a good thing because that's the key to deepening your connection with spirit. On the 9th, Venus then moves up here into your important relationships, which could deepen, and long-standing relationships could be refreshed or rejuvenated, very affectionate, peaceful. It's a beautiful energy. Friends, if you have any friends, they could become closer to you, and you may not have friends. Not everybody does. Yes, if you have legalities, then you might find there's a sudden improvement or something eases, the tension eases, your life becomes more harmonious. The 17th sees Mars squaring your MC. It's like you're trying to get ahead in life, but there's some sort of challenge or some sort of obstacle there. Try to be as independent as you can. It could be a bit turbulent, but try not to rock the boat, okay? You'll have this energy come up and you'll have to hold it, and as you hold it, it will change for the better. The 20th of December sees Jupiter up here in the most public area of your life. It goes here into your house of vocation, expanding your career, expanding your status or your reputation. People get to know about you. It's a general expansion to your life. There's likely to be some good luck more knowledge, you learn more. The ability to mentor both yourself and other people will come in handy, and you may also have some bigger hopes and dreams than usual. Jupiter will be here for just over a year, so it's fairly important. It'll bring you good luck and beneficial connections. The 21st sees the Sun entering Capricorn as well here, bringing insight and awareness to this relationship party. There's a lot of planetary energy here, bringing positive changes around relationships. If you have a casual relationship, it could become more committed. You'll likely gain insight and wisdom, and perhaps even happiness. Then we have on the 31st to the 2nd of January 2023 already, the Sun sextiling MC up here. This is fabulous for your long-range goals, your life direction, and things just start to open up in a really big way. You gain clarity and a stronger sense of purpose. Your spiritual life becomes more important. You may study, you may have more to do with people overseas, for example, and you're just generally happier, and you feel like you're moving ahead, and you know, the whole world opens up. The world is your oyster. It's time to take some initiative, step out and do that thing. Okay, so that's it, everybody. I hope this is useful for you. Leave me a comment. That would be fabulous, or leave a like. Have a great month. Thanks and bye for now. Hello, lovely Leos. Yes, another month rolls around. So let's go to the board now and have a look at what the cards in your horoscope have to say. Alrighty, so we'll draw these two cards first for the first half of the month and the second half then. Okay, so the first half, okay, so it's midnight. Time is up. I see a clock and it's both hands on 12. So it says something is ending, like it's like a brand new cycle, a new day, something that's about to start. I now see a rocket taking off. Okay, so a new idea that you could get, or a new relationship, or a new job, new things happening in your life is about to start happening. I see a whole lot of coat hangers with clothes, taking them out of the wardrobe. And this could be that you're changing your identity. Go and clean out your wardrobe. Send the message to Spirit that you want a fresh identity, and you want to change your appearance, and you know, it's exciting. All right, the card that comes up is the Page of Pentacles. A lot of the star signs are getting Pentacles coming up. Okay, it's like news about your money. And there is a bit happening here, especially around joint resources or joint investments, loans, things like that. I'll talk about in a moment. Okay, you don't have all of the information, but you do have some of the information. See, she's wearing black, something's hidden, but then you have this white collar, so something is known. Then a decision can be made and action can be taken about your money. Okay, amazing how that card keeps coming up. Now, let's have a look at the second half of the month for you, lovely Leo. Something about money going in my head as well. It keeps going on. I see a coin and it's spinning. It's just a silver coin spinning, spinning, spinning on its end. And this is your femininity, changes to your femininity, but also your finances. There are changes there. You're not sure which way it's going to go. Is it going to be heads or tails? Let's have a look. The card here is, regardless of what happens with your money, you're charging ahead, full bore into life, taking the bull by the horns and moving somewhere, getting somewhere. Okay, you're listening to your intuition. This is fabulous. This is actually a major arcana card, and it's like you're going to get on and get stuff done finally. Okay, it's almost like things have been in the background but you haven't done anything about it. It's been in your mind, but you sort of different things coming up, getting you distracted or off track, and now you're back on track, moving forward. Take the bull by the horns. Okay, all right, now let's have a look at your horoscope. I'm just going to make this a bit bigger. Keep these cards in mind because they're often relevant to what's going on. First thing you'll notice is this T-square here. The apex, the focal point is here. Neptune in your house of joint resources. Sometimes this can bring confusion, but it can also bring spirituality. So it's like you may have felt a bit confused or unsure of your direction, but now your direction is becoming more clear. You'll be able to move ahead more. This house here is the house of joint resources, loans, banks. It's also inheritances. It's deep, compelling things that Scorpio normally looks after, but we have Pisces in this house this time. Neptune rules over Pisces. So there's a very spiritual thing going on here to do with your money. Listen to your intuition because you're going to be divinely guided. There are some challenges with perhaps your creativity or your inner child, maybe even your own children. They might not necessarily like the direction that you're going in, and that's where you need to be firm, but that's okay. You'll find here that there's Mercury and Venus at the beginning of the month. They're conjunct, so this is all about very beautiful, polite, charming conversations and messages with other people. So just keep it on that level, even though there may be some challenges. These two planets are also opposite Mars, which is retrograde until next month, January. There could be your friends telling you to do things, and it's like all this energy to surge ahead, but you've got to control that energy, otherwise it could come out in very irritable sort of communications. But even though it's a bit turbulent with these squares and this opposition here, with squares normally that's about challenges to make you grow, and they bring the greatest rewards. Now the 4th to the 30th sees Jupiter trining your ascendant. This is fabulous because it's a very good time for you personally. You feel more confident. You're just going to win at life, basically. You're likely to also get the respect and admiration from other people. You can promote your ideas and plans that you believe strongly in, and other people go along with what you want. They quietly accept your proposals and your ideas, and probably even provide you with some support. So this is wonderful. The 6th of December sees Mercury entering Capricorn here in your normal everyday life, and also your work and your health. So there's lots of fresh ideas and communications here, and you might find that with Mercury, you could even be talking about your health or communicating about your well-being in some way. Okay, so then we have the full moon in Gemini across the road here, and at some point this will be right up close against Mars. They'll be conjunct. So this is a turbulent time around the 7th or the 8th. It's in your house of friends and connections, people you come across. It's also your hopes and dreams. You might decide to let some people go, let them go out of your life because they're not on the same page as you anymore. You do probably need some time for privacy and quiet self-reflection. You may also notice a change in your hopes and dreams, and it could be a bit emotional, but often those emotions are sort of like the vehicle, the bull here. Those emotions carry you towards a more strong divine or spiritual connection. On the 9th, Venus also enters the party here in your everyday life. It brings a lovely, smooth, harmonious tone to your work, or maybe about your health. Your life seems to be running more smoothly than usual, perhaps. You could meet beautiful people through your everyday work or your habits, your routine, and they turn into friends, or you might meet someone special. Your life becomes more enjoyable and peaceful, and even normal routines seem to be flowing fine. On the 20th, Jupiter enters Aries up here, broadening your life. I'm really getting the vibe on other countries. I really feel in the next 12 months you're going overseas while I'm saying this. And you could study, of course. You could really open up to the world, and it's just the world is your oyster. I just feel this is fabulous. This will be fabulous for you. And Jupiter will be here for over a year. So, yeah, that's really good news. You can do something that really changes the direction of your life. Some of you may go to live in another country, I almost feel. And that will really, you know, blending in another country, that will really open your mind. The 21st of December sees your ruler, the sun, entering your everyday life, your routine and work. So there's going to be a real big party going on here in your normal everyday awareness. And your habits, you'll probably adopt new habits because you'll have insight and awareness into what's healthy for you, and you could improve your health quite significantly. A lot of insight and wisdom and happiness coming through to you. The new moon in Capricorn comes in as well with new beginnings to your everyday habits, daily work and health as well. You're going to sow some seeds now. Your job could change for the better, or maybe take some action to improve it. There's likely to be concrete physical changes because it's in Capricorn. Alrighty, so that's it, lovely Leo. Thanks so much for watching. Do check out your sun, your moon and ascendant signs as well. Have a great month, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now. Hello and welcome, vivacious Virgos. Okay, so let's rock into your horoscope for December. First I'll choose the cards, okay? So let's see what they have to say. Closing my eyes now for you. Okay, actually I've got a flash of red, and this can indicate action, exercise, the blood pumping around your body, getting stuff done. The card that comes up is the King of Cups. This is beautiful because this is all about feeling your emotions, and it's also your intuition. See how he's dressed in this blue sort of indigo colour. That's the colour of the third eye. And so you might find yourself having a lot of little flashes, very much in charge and in touch of his with his subconscious. Here's the ocean here, and he's seated on a shell. Very high vibration when he speaks. Take notice. Someone could come into your life like that, or you could find that in yourself. Let's look at the second card now. Closing my eyes. What do I see? Okay, something surging. Oh, wow. Okay, this is fabulous. At first I saw a plinth light going up into the sky like a marble column, and then on top of it is a gold cup. You're going to come first in some sort of spiritual race. It's just spirit basically having a bit of a joke, but saying that you are ascending into consciousness at a rapid rate. Okay, the card that comes up is the Eight of Cups. It's all about cups. See, that's cups. This is cups. And it was a gold cup that I saw, but not exactly the same as this, but like a, you know, first prize sort of thing. She's moving away from a difficult past. She's getting on with her life. She's got a fabulous future full of opportunity and growth. The new moon is here, just giving the beginnings of light and insight and knowledge as to where she's going and what she's doing in her life. So well done. Money can come also with this card as well. Eight of Cups, but it's more about the feelings, of course. All right, so let me just make this bigger so you can see it much better, and we'll rock and roll. Okay, all right, first thing I want to talk about is a T-square, vivacious Virgos. Firstly, note that Mercury is retrograde 29th of December to the 18th of January, and it's your ruling planet. It's here in Sagittarius. to start the month, and then it will go into Capricorn. So I'll talk about that in a moment. It's going to be, it will be conjunct Venus. The two of together, they blend together to bring harmonious, beautiful conversations, messages, communications and ideas around your home and family. But this is opposite Mars, which is retrograde, and there will be a full moon in there that at some point will conjunct Mars, which will probably muck things up even more. So there's a lot of turbulence coming up from the subconscious. This is to do with your career and your vocation, or perhaps a parent. So just try and stay calm and peaceful. Venus will give you the energy to do that. Keep your communications very measured if you're having a problem in your career or with a parent. These are both square Neptune here in your house of committed relationships. This could be sometimes like a partner and they act like a parent. You know, you've got a man-child husband or partner, or a girl child, whichever the case may be. A girl child, a woman child, sorry, I meant to say. Sometimes we look at our relationships with rose-coloured glasses, but Neptune also brings illusion and delusion, so we may not be seeing the relationship as it really is, okay? So try to stay calm, but just remember that squares and challenges, are challenges that while they might be turbulent at first, they actually pay out in the end for you. They bring growth and opportunity, and you'll get some sort of rewards in the end. Okay, so on the 6th, your ruler Mercury does enter Capricorn here, bringing discussions, messages about your creativity or perhaps entertainment, socialising, and lots of good ideas as well. And so something could come of these good ideas, because it could go down to a practical level regarding romance and creativity. Your leisure and pleasure entertainment is going swimmingly now until about the 22nd, when we're in the shadow period for Mercury retrograde. Just watch that, because things could slow down, or there's some miscommunication, even or especially if you're throwing a party or you're going to meet up with somebody, the communications could get lost or something like that. So just follow up there. It will be retrograde on the 29th. The 7th or 8th of the month, depending where you are, the full moon in Gemini. This is likely to affect you as well, because there's some sort of shake-up up here, and especially when the moon gets conjunct to Mars. So this is your house of vocation, reputation or status, and may involve authority figures regarding your communications and new ideas. You could have some internal turbulence with your general life direction or career, because it's like you're not doing what your heart wants you to do in some way. So upstairs is trying to tweak your life direction. Some things are not serving your highest good anymore, so you may cut them off. It's a time when you need privacy and quiet self-reflection. There could also be a change in a relationship with a parent or authority figure. Things might get more emotional, but this is the key to deepening your connection with spirit. On the 9th, Venus also enters Capricorn here, bringing a lovely, smooth, harmonious tone to your entertaining or your socialising. Maybe you and your friends get together. But in Capricorn, there's likely to be some real concrete results. It's not just talking about stuff or thinking about stuff. It's actually likely to happen. You could be feeling much more creative. You could start a new creative project. You have more to do with children, perhaps, including your own inner child who helps you create. And your life generally becomes more enjoyable and peaceful. The 20th of December sees Jupiter entering Aries here, bringing an expansion to your joint resources. So the things that you share with other people, real estate, superannuation, loans, you know, investments, and even intimacy. Okay, so maybe you want your intimate life to expand in some way. That would be good. Sharing with others is the theme here. Perhaps a relationship with somebody goes to an intimate level, or an existing relationship could be renewed or refreshed intimately. So that's good news. The 21st sees the Sun also entering Capricorn, bringing insight and awareness to your creativity and romance zone. And there's a real energetic party going on here. You could have a really fun time in December. And finally, the 23rd of December sees a new moon in Capricorn as well, bringing new beginnings. And seeds are now sown for the future. Creative projects can likely take off with lots of inspo and motivation. And there's real physical accomplishments that you've had some sort of creative input into. And your romantic life could also begin or have some new beginning. Okay, so that's it. Vivacious Virgos, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to watch your Sun, Moon and Ascendant signs as well. That would be fabulous. Have a wonderful month. Thanks and bye for now. Hello, lovely Libra. Well, welcome to your December horoscope. Okay, let's go to the board and have a look what the cards have to say, and also your horoscope. Okay, so I'll just shuffle them up again. Okay, closing my eyes for the first card. Okay, a lot of blue here, like somebody wearing a great big huge blue aquamarine. It's very bright. So this is about your communications, your messaging, and like reaching down into your heart basically, and bringing that out into the world. The card that comes up is the Eight of Wands. You're likely to have brilliant ideas this month. You're probably full of inspiration and motivation. So the only thing with these is they're very quick, and you can miss out on ideas if you don't write them down immediately. Okay, do remind me, because I'm a shocker for that. Don't, you know, think to write them down sometimes and then they're gone. So this is really good news for all aspects of your life. Let's have a look at the second half of the month now. If you're worried about your thinking, you know, if you're getting older and you're finding it harder to think straight, I just realised yesterday, yes, we're all getting older, of course, but, you know, life is more complicated today. We've got more to remember than ever in any time in history previously, so no wonder. The card that comes up is the Queen of Wands. This is fabulous. Because this gives you a renewed sense of purpose and inspiration, motivation, a fiery spiritual energy. You're in touch with your natural instincts here. I've just got a Bengal cat that's just around my feet, leopard actually, so he looks like this one. He's got the more rounded head. She's very practical. She's got her feet on the ground. This gold sash around the solar plexus is all about achievement and success. Keep going, don't give up, take action. The sunflowers remind us of the sun, so that is about happiness and success, the source of all life. Okay, that's fabulous. All right, let's have a look now at your horoscope. I'm just going to make this a bit bigger so that you can see what's going on. The first thing I want to talk about is a T-square, because it involves your ruler Venus down here in your promotions, communication zone, your study. We have Mercury and Venus conjunct here, and they're not happy with Mars. Mars is not happy with them, more likely, like Venus and Mercury. Like Venus is so peaceful and peace-loving that she wouldn't want to upset anybody, but Mars will go up and out and upset everybody with this huge forceful energy about you know, broadening your life, and maybe you're looking at study, maybe you're looking at spirituality, your philosophy on life, and you could have a lot more to do with people in foreign countries, and then we'll have the new moon come along, and also add a bit of extra turbulence. But there could be some sort of challenges between these. You know, this house is also to do with siblings or distant relatives, or your local area, you know, closer to home stuff. So you've got this closer to home stuff, and then this perhaps desire or need to want to go and travel some considerable distance. And then the focal point is Neptune here in your everyday work, okay, if you're working, or perhaps it's your health. This, with Neptune here, you have to be a bit careful with viruses, because this is like prime area, because it's your health. So do be cautious about that if you're travelling. It also sees the world, or sees your work with rose-coloured glasses, or could be some sort of deception or illusion that you're not seeing your health or your work, or perhaps even your everyday routines. Maybe you're not seeing them clearly. Now, we also have, I'll mention this one, which is the end of November through to the 3rd of December, starting the month off, Mars retrograde. It's retrograde until next month. You could meet somebody that you're powerfully attracted to, emotionally and sexually, and you know, any romantic involvements that you have could be very much intensified during this time period, so expect fireworks. Your relationships could be more tempestuous, especially if your partner's not as amorous as you would like, okay? The 4th of December to the 30th December, however, Jupiter is opposition your ascendant, and normally opposition is difficult, but with Jupiter it just means that you approach this with more reality. You're more clear-headed and not full of overconfidence, and you could meet a lot more people at this time. You come, you know, your circle, so to speak, widens. You could also seek a new job, promotion, or request an increase in your pay. It's like your life needs to improve in some way. The 6th of December sees Mercury entering Capricorn here, discussions about your home and family, and there's some sort of practical consideration. Maybe you're looking at renovating or redecorating. Things go very well with Mercury and the discussions until about the 22nd, when things start to slow down. So if you want to get something done at home, get it done in the earlier part of the month, because then it slows down, because Mercury is retrograde on the 29th. Then on the 7th or 8th, depending where you are, the full moon is in Gemini up here, and at some point it's going to be conjunct Mars. This brings up a whole lot of subconscious energy, particularly around expanding your life, or particularly around any studies you may be doing, your spirituality or your philosophy. And it can bring confusion sometimes, but do remember this card, and try and write those brilliant flashes, because it's probably going to alternate your thinking between brilliant flashes and then periods of confusion. So that's how it goes. You lose track of time too. And communications could be affected, especially when dealing with overseas connections, okay? There's a need for privacy, generally speaking. Rule of Venus on the 9th enters Capricorn here, joining the party, and you'll find that it's a great time to be entertaining at home. Maybe you invite friends around to your place, or you go out and socialise more. Redecorating, renovating at home is definitely on the cards, or perhaps somebody in your family is doing this. Now, your bottom teeth on the right side, lower jaw right at the back, the molars at the back, I feel like something coming out and spreading up my whole face, and so there could be some dental problems you need to look at. It's going into my ears. It's moving very quickly. I feel there's a definite spiritual component, something being released from your childhood during this time. And you could be a real homebody right now, making your home peaceful. The 20th of December sees Jupiter entering Aries, expanding your important relationships. A casual relationship could become more solid, or could, become more stable. Existing relationships can be rejuvenated or refreshed. Good luck, especially around legalities or difficult relationships. And there's a general improvement, and you feel more optimistic here with your relationships. It also brings the ability to mentor other people, or perhaps your partner, because it is committed relationships that are involved. Life can be so much larger than you previously considered, and Jupiter will be here for a year or so, so that's good news. The Sun enters Capricorn here, your 4th house, bringing insight, awareness, and awareness to your home and family. So there's a whole lot of energy going on here, and especially with the new moon there as well. So that brings some sort of new beginnings. It's time to sow seeds with your family and do new things together. And there's likely to be real physical accomplishments, so I do feel renovating and redecorating are very strong. From the 22nd to the 31st, Mars is opposition the Sun. Just watch that for arguments. As you're ruled by Venus, you'll probably try to avoid any arguments. There's some sort of conflict or competition around, and it could be with members of your family, and maybe just sit back and let them go for it and don't get involved. Venus loves to calm things over, so you've got to be careful. If anything, you've got to be careful that you don't overdo that and sacrifice yourself. All right, so that's it, lovely Libra. I hope you find this useful. Leave a like or a share, that'd be fabulous, and have a very good month, and Merry Christmas if you celebrate that. Okay, thanks and bye for now. Hello and welcome, Sensational Scorpio. Thanks for joining me for December Horoscope. All right, let's go to the board now and draw 2 tarot cards as theme cards for the month for you. Closing my eyes. Now, I've got a lot of purple coming in. This is about spirit, your spirituality. You could be feeling more spiritual this month. Let's have a look and see what cards we get. This is the first half of the month, this first card. It's all about justice. Okay, so this is always related to natural justice, natural law, L-O-R-E, not so much human law, L-A-W. But if you do have a legality, this could certainly help. And you've got Uranus and the North Node that are conjunct here in your 7th house. So this is about legalities as well as partnerships, and people that you don't get on with very well. So there could be some sort of legality, or perhaps somebody that you don't get on with, you hear something about them and you go, yeah, that's karma, okay, because here she's weighing the scales of justice, she's making a decision, she's got her feet on the ground, there's real practical issues, real practical energy around this. Action will be taken. And also listening to the owl on her shoulder, it's all about intuition. All right, let's see what happens in the second half of the month for you, Sensational Scorps. Gee whiz, I don't know how to describe this, what I'm seeing. I do see a smoke circle in the air, like somebody's smoking. If you are smoking, please consider giving up. It's really not good for your health. But there's something also about your thinking, smoky thinking, lack of clarity. It's connected with smoking, okay? Not enough oxygen getting through to your brain, perhaps. I don't mean that in a judgmental way. It's just what I'm seeing. 10 of Wands. Look, the burden. You've been carrying a burden for a long time. You've got the opportunity to give it up this month. Please give it up, because it's just so hard for you to carry all this baggage from the past, basically. Then we have green, which means some sort of growth. So this is really looking like something has been weighing you down from the past, but there is a change. There's been a challenge here, so these hills, it hasn't been easy, okay? But the green does indicate that you're growing past it now, which is good news, okay? All right, let's have a look now at your horoscope in depth. I'm just going to make it a little bit bigger for you to see. Okay, so first thing I want to talk about is this thing called a T-square here. We have Venus and Mercury at 19 and 21, so that's degrees. That's what's called conjunct. They're very close together. And they're having a bit of a ding-dong battle with Mars retrograde over here. And the full moon will also conjunct Mars retrograde. That's going to bring up a lot of issues or turbulence, especially around joint resources. Now, I'm thinking if you've got an ex and you're going through a divorce, or you're going through a property settlement or something like that, that could be on the cards, because here we have the Justice card and the legalities, with something unusual happening regarding your ex-partner or your current partner. It's like an unpredictable bolt out of the blue. But yeah, if you don't have an ex, it could also be, this could be your current relationship changes in some way. And it's because it's conjunct the North Node. This is karma. It's, well, I should say destiny, really. It's like upstairs is moving you forward into a brand new future, basically. So that is a bit exciting. So don't get scared by Uranus, because sometimes it brings really positive things. Okay, with the other side, the focal point of the T-square is here. With Neptune, brings a very creative time, especially around romances, children, your inner child. Okay, so while there's some squares here, and it can be turbulent or challenging, it's these challenges that bring the greatest rewards. You're going to come out of this and really, in the future, you're going to benefit a lot. The 6th of December, Mercury jumps into Capricorn here. This is all about communications, and things could be going quite well, communicating with distant relatives or siblings, or with people in your local area. There's likely to be, it's a great time for promoting a business. If you're, here on YouTube or other social media, marketing is probably going pretty well, and things are generally going swimmingly well until about the 22nd, when we start the shadow period of Mercury retrograde on the 29th. Okay, so get everything that you need to do regarding communications early in the month as much as you can, because things could slow down after about the 22nd. The 7th to the 8th, depending where you are. The full moon is in Gemini up here at some point, because moon moves through these houses really quickly. It's going to be conjunct Mars, and this could be quite turbulent. So that's probably probably a day or two, the 8th or the 9th, around there somewhere. Be cautious, because there could be some sort of confusion, or you lose track of time. But there is a need for privacy and quiet self-reflection. Here in the 8th house, sometimes it's about investments, shared resources with other people, like I was talking about next before. This might be to do with some sort of property settlement, for example. So it's also your intimate life. There could be some sort of blow-up there. Then we have Venus entering the party down here in the 3rd house on the 9th of December, bringing a lovely, smooth, harmonious tone to your communications, especially people in your local area. You could be out and about, gadding about town, chatting with your neighbours over the back fence, lots of little trips, paying bills, organising errands and socialising, getting a lot done. They might be small little things, but they all add up. And study could also be on your mind, or learning about something. It's going pretty smoothly. You seem to have a better relationship with most people. You could be a peacemaker in your local area. or contact those people that you've lost touch with, especially distant family members. And you could involve yourself with community projects. The 20th sees Jupiter entering Aries here. This is about your normal everyday life, your routines, your habits, your work, your health, your well-being, and there's an expansion in all these areas. Maybe you decide that you want to expand your exercise program if you have one. This brings a lot of good luck, and your life generally improves. You become more optimistic. You improve your situation at work. Perhaps you go for a promotion or something like that. And Jupiter will be here for the next year or so. So it can bring real good luck around your work. 21st sees the Sun also entering Capricorn here. This brings insight and awareness. You suddenly get this idea of, you figure out what's going on, and especially with studies, this is a real energetic party now, so it's all about your communications, about brilliant ideas. You gain in insight and wisdom, and perhaps you're even happy. The 23rd sees sees a new moon in Capricorn, bringing new beginnings. Seeds are sown for the future. Marketing and promotions could start now with real physical accomplishments. Alrighty, so that's it, dear Scorpio. I hope this is useful for you. Leave a like, share with your friends and on your socials. I'll get that out. It's lunchtime now. Have a great day and a great month, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now. Hello and welcome, Savvy Sagittarius. Thanks for joining me. Okay, so let's go to the board now and have a look at what these cards have to say, and then we'll look at your horoscope. All right, so I've just shuffled them up, and I'll just continue to shuffle them while I focus. I see a martini glass. Oh, this one just came out. A martini glass. Be careful about indulging in too much alcohol over the holiday break that's coming up. You could also be dealing with authority figures, and we do have the MC here in your 10th house. This is about your career or your general life direction. So this card, some people like it. I'm not a fan, but they like it because it's like play by the rules. If you do that, you'll be fine. If you break the rules, then he's going to come down on you like a ton of bricks. So, it's all about following somebody else's rules. If you get government allowances, like in Australia, we have so many different allowances for different things, different benefits, so I can't even keep up. I don't even know what they are. But it's Centrelink, or I think they call them Services Australia now. They administer all of these billions of dollars that are handed out to people. They have a lot of rules around this, of course. So just bear in mind that the first half of the month there's some sort of authority figure that is telling you something. Maybe you'll need to listen, whether you like it or not, basically. Sorry to say. But some people like it because they know where they are. It makes people feel safe, okay? So let's have a look and see what happens in the second half of the month. Interestingly, it could be at work, it could be you have some sort of career and you're not happy with the way the boss is, because he doesn't really consult with you, he just tells you. And I'm saying here it could be a she as well. All right, second half of the month, what do I see? Books in front of me, papers, journals, reports. I just feel it's like a big learning curve, studying something. Okay, you may change your job because of your authoritarian boss, and then you've got to learn or something like that. Okay, the card that comes up is the Three of Wands. It's all about a group project. Sometimes this is family or people that you work with, but it's not so much about the relationship between the people. It's more about what they can achieve together, and you can get stuff done. The thing about this is everybody is equally emotionally invested in this project or this activity, and sometimes you don't always agree, but you will get it across the line. You'll get stuff done, and there's action being taken. Totally different personalities here. Sorry, I just got a I've just got a plane, an aircraft flying over, just making noise. Of course, because I'm doing YouTube, of course. So different personalities, but all very much invested in getting this project across the line. There you go. Okay, bear those in mind. And now I'll make this bigger for you. What I want to talk about in your horoscope first is this thing called a T-square here. And the focal point is Neptune here in your home and family. So we've got the combined energies of multiple heavenly bodies. Firstly, Sagittarius, Venus and Mercury are conjunct. So this is a lovely sort of smooth, peaceful communications and energy that you bring to this. It's opposite the rough and tumble forcefulness of Mars retrograde, and the full moon will soon conjunct Mars, and then so that is quite turbulent, emotional stuff coming up, possibly to do with a committed relationship or legalities or somebody that you don't get on with that well. And these different legs or different aspects of this T-square then both send energy over here to Neptune at home, and so you may not be seeing the full situation about your home and family, for example, due to the forces of a partner or legalities or someone you don't get on with, and your own peace-loving self. And so there could be, some sort of blow-up or turbulence. Neptune doesn't always see things very clearly. It's always sort of murky, misty type of energy there. So there could be, some issues around that. But that's okay. It's only for a short time. It will all change as the planets move around the zodiacal wheel, or zodiacal wheel, however you pronounce it. The 4th of December to the 30th of December, your ruler Jupiter is trine your Ascendant. This is absolutely fabulous for you because it goes all month for a start, and this gives you a lot of confidence, and people respect you and they even admire you. You can promote your own ideas and your plans that you believe strongly in. That's the thing, you've got to believe in them. But if you do, other people will help you. They'll accept your proposals and your ideas and give you support. The 6th of December, Mercury enters Capricorn here in your money zone. So big party in your money zone this month. So it's all about the money, honey. This also means that there'll be some sort of brilliant ideas or communications around your personal finances or the things that you value. There's some real concrete and practical results that come up from these ideas. You could think of new ways to make dollars and improve your financial position, and things are likely to go swimmingly well until about the 22nd, when the shadow period of Mercury retrograde starts. There could be some misunderstandings or a slowdown when Mercury goes retrograde on the 29th. The 7th or the 8th of the month, depending where you are, full moon is in Gemini up here, bringing a bit of turbulence to your existing committed relationships. At some point, the full moon will be conjunct Mars, and that'll just add a nice cherry on top to the subconscious turbulence that's coming up. Could also affect legalities or people that you don't get on with. Okay, 9th of December, Venus enters Capricorn. Venus is in charge of money, and she may influence you to spend lots of money on beautiful things, especially around Christmas time, or presents for your family, for example, or the people that you care about. But on the other hand, she can also organise money. So you could be blessed financially. You might need to buy things and they come on sale. You've got to buy a present or a Christmas cake or something and it's on sale. Or maybe you come up with a brilliant idea of celebrating Christmas before or after the 25th. But there's real concrete physicality, a real concrete result because of this. And the things that you value could become more elegant, or you raise the bar about your values. You could be a peacemaker somehow with money. Maybe you give your kids money for Christmas or something like that, maybe. 20th of December to the 28th of December, Mars squares your MC up here in your house of career or general life direction. It's just not the time to sort of push ahead while Mars is in this retrograde position over here. You just might find a clash with a significant other, or you might just find it's just not working out. It's just not the best time to try and push ahead too much. Being ambitious is on hold for a little bit. 20th of December, your ruler Jupiter enters the 5th house here, Aries. Fabulous for your creativity. Chiron is at 12 degrees, so there could be some sort of healing, in a week or two down the track. This is all about your creativity really expanding. You live closer to the world of the child. You become more optimistic, more positive. It can bring good luck even around romance. And you might find that anything to do with children improves, or your inner child as well. The 21st sees the sun entering Capricorn back here in your house of money, bringing insight and awareness, and joining the party here, okay? And 23rd, new moon as well, bringing a new beginning. It's time to sow new ideas because, it's just a fabulous, exciting month for you, dear Sag. What can I say? Alrighty, so that's it, everyone. I hope this is useful for you. Thanks so much for joining me. Don't forget to check your sun, moon, and ascendant signs. Have a great month. Bye for now. Hello, courageous Capricorns. I'm here with your December horoscope. What a month it is for everybody. Let's go to the main board now, and I'm going to draw your cards for the month. Often they work in very well with the horoscope. So let's see what comes out. Close my eyes now. Something about pegs and clotheslines, hills, hoists. So this is particularly for Australians, I feel. Something about joining things together, okay? I think it's just a normal domestic task and organising your life and making your life work, something like that anyway. Let's see what card comes out. It's the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so sometimes, doing domestic tasks can feel a bit boring, or, there's a bit of a certain degree of drudgery in that, and it could be that you're looking towards something else. You might feel a bit bored with your life, unmotivated, a bit jaded, but do know the Wheel of Fortune card here says that nothing stays the same. It is always turning, and so there's always things coming up, new things to excite your life so that you can feel more inspired and motivated. So let's have a look at the second half of the month now. That's the first half, just letting you know that things change and the planets continue in the zodiacal heavens all the time. Okay, so yellow and green is coming through. So green is always or usually growth and prosperity, development, learning, striving, yearning, moving forward. Sometimes it's good for money. The yellow is about success and attainment. It relates to your solar plexus. Now you might need to update your diet and use probiotics or get rid of the rubbish foods or something like that. The card that comes up, here's the yellow, here's the green. The card that comes up is the King of Wands. This is about being masterfully excited, masterfully inspired and practical with it, because he's on a wooden throne here. All this green, just so much growth around you. Take some action. Same with this baseball bat. And the sun here is about eventual success and feeling comfortable and happy. So bear those two cards in mind. Now I'm just going to make this bigger so that you can see it. Okay, so courageous Capricorns, the first thing I want to talk about is this T-square here. It's basically the focal point here is on Neptune in Pisces, in your third house of communications. Your communications and ideas could take on quite a spiritual tone this month, and you might also become known in your local area for being a spiritual person. Maybe you're doing readings or healing or massage or something, and it's very good for promotions and marketing, okay, especially with Jupiter in there as well. However, there are some cross currents from Mars retrograde here, and the full moon will be conjunct with that soon. So Mars retrograde can sometimes slow things down a bit, particularly here in your sixth house. Could be to do with your health, your well-being, or your everyday routine or work. And this cross current over here is Venus conjunct Mercury, or Mercury conjunct Venus, and these two blend together. So it's in the house of spirituality. And so there could be some messages there. So you might be feeling a bit torn between what you're spiritually guided to do, and yet Mars is pushing you into the external world to do more. So sometimes it's a bit hard to kind of find that balance between what spiritually, you know you're supposed to be on a certain path, but money keeps you in the physical world doing stuff that you normally wouldn't want to do. And then again with this spiritual planet Neptune, and it is in Pisces, so yeah, a bit to consider. But you see, the thing is with these challenges, often with squares, this square here and this square here, there can be some rewards long term. So there is some positive aspects to it. And your ruler is Saturn, and Saturn is making a few positive angles to Venus and Mercury up here. So, it's sort of a bit of a mixed bag, So anyway, let's have a look at the other things that could be affecting you, because you've got some really beneficial influences. They're from the 29th of November to the 4th. So you're starting the month off with Mars trining your MC up here. This gives you a lot of gravitas. It gives you a lot of sort of authority. You can make your influence felt, especially with regard to changing your career or anything to do with career or to do with authority figures. So your long-range goals, anything that you decide you want to do long-term, is also likely to be quite effective. And it's a great time for taking independent action, for being self-reliant, or for taking on more of a leadership role. Go ahead. From the 4th to the 30th, you've got Jupiter square your Ascendant. And Jupiter, even with the hard aspects, it's still positive. So that's good news, because someone's likely to offer you a very promising opportunity in this month. And you could have an offer for somebody else that could be mutually beneficial for both of you. The 6th of December sees Mercury entering your sign here. And that's giving you a lot of good ideas and communications about how you present yourself to the world. It's like you've got a statement to make, and you can make this statement and get some really concrete and practical results out of it. You might also want to rejuice your appearance or your identity. And things are going pretty swimmingly well until around the 22nd, when the shadow period of Mercury retrograde comes in. Things could start to slow down. It is retrograde from the 29th. So things could be misunderstood. So just watch that. And that's up until the 18th of January. Now, around the 7th to the 8th, the full moon is in Gemini, shaking things up here, I mentioned before, and it will conjunct Mars slightly after that date. And you could find that your thinking is influenced by subconscious energy coming up. Maybe you're not as logical as usual, or your communications may be a little bit confused or ambiguous. People don't understand what you're trying to say necessarily. There could be the element of, as far as time, you lose time, so watch your scheduling there for meetings and such like. It could also affect your routine, your work, your routine, or your health if you've got any medical appointments particularly. Travel is also a thing to watch, allow plenty of time. And generally there's a need for, privacy and for you to look within. The ninth sees Venus entering your sign. This brings a lovely, smooth, harmonious tone to how you present yourself to the world. So you might become more conscious of colour or different elements in your appearance and what you look like. You might want to get some new clothes, throw out the old clothes, clean out your wardrobe, that sort of thing. And because it's like there's a new message that you want to put out into the world. Also, Mars, as I mentioned, retrograde over here is opposite. So sometimes they might have a bit of a row about how you do it. It's not the best time. With Mars over here in your sixth house, it's not the best time for anything to do with cutting and sharp implements. So if you think about plastic surgery, because you've got all of this energy here around your appearance and your identity, do consider putting it off, because cutting's not a good idea at the moment. Then we have your ruler, sorry, it's not your ruler. Then we have Jupiter on the 20th of December entering Aries here, and this brings an expansion to your family life or your home or your family members. Somehow your family expands in some way. So maybe friends become more like family, or somebody in the family falls pregnant, but there's quite a positivity to it. You could also enlarge your home. Maybe you want to put on an extension or a new deck or something like that, and you're likely to be more active and optimistic about creating projects at home. So that's good news, and that optimism can affect your family as well, and your children perhaps. Okay, so 21st, the sun goes into your sign here, completing the party, and this is very beneficial for insight and awareness, and you just feel happy within yourself. That type of happiness where you don't need anything, it's just emanating out of you. Yes, and if you do decide to update your appearance, you'll be pleased with the result. Then we have the new moon also joining this party, bringing new beginnings. It's time to sow seeds. What do you want in your life? What's the direction of your life? Are you happy with what you're doing? Are you happy with who you're with at the moment? Maybe you need to make some changes perhaps. How do you bring the fullest extent of your potential into the world and make it physical? Because your future is full of positivity, the potential is there. 23rd to the 27th, Mercury sextiles the moon, and you could be talking a lot about your innermost feelings, your past or personal subjects. It's like you're building closeness and trust in relationships, especially with women. You're likely to be a sympathetic listener, and in listening you can draw out the feelings of other people. You may also hear from someone from the past, or reach out to somebody that you have a long history with or who was once very important to you. And the 17th of December to the 7th of January, your ruler Saturn is sextile Mercury, which is great for having very clear thoughts, being able to concentrate, being very objective. You can get a lot done if you have to work out plans and things like that. You're probably well organised and structured and very matter of fact now. All right, so that's it, everybody. Hope this is useful for you. Thank you so much for joining me today, and have a great month. Bye for now. Hello, awesome Aquarius. Welcome to the December horoscope. Okay, what a month we've got. Let's rock and roll now. Having a look at your horoscope and also the cards. Alrighty, so first half of the month. Closing my eyes. What do I see for you? Actually, I do see this T-square as the first thing in my face. But look, there's also lilac flowers here. It could be a little bit bittersweet because it's like there's happiness, but there was some sadness at some point too. But it gave you an understanding of the spiritual world. It deepened your spirituality, whatever this event was. Let's see what card comes out for you. We have the Three of Wands. This indicates that sometimes you have to work with people, and they could be actual workmates, or they could be family members that you have to join together with as a team to get something accomplished. Sometimes it's something to do with one of your parents, or, you know, they're downsizing, or they're going into a old age home or something like that, and so a lot of work to be done around it. See the three baseball bats here, but three different people. It just means a group of people that you don't always see eye to eye with, but you will get the job done. There is a sense of accomplishment with this. Everybody's sort of got a fair bit of passion and worked up about what their point of view is. Maybe not the best for being, you know, a team member, but you'll get whatever it is done. You'll get it done. Yeah. Okay, let's look at the second half of the month now. The sadness might be something to do with family. Actually, family, here you go. This one just popped out as I said it. The Ten of Cups, this is motherhood. It's nurturing, caring for others. And some people care for others more than others, basically. You'll see she's wearing green, a lot of growth, but this is beautiful. And it is about taking care of others, especially children, or the inner child. Here's the little child's rocking horse, the importance of home and hearth. Okay, you do have some things happening here in your house of home and family, some unpredictable, unexpected sort of turbulence sometimes with Uranus and the North Node, and they're conjunct. So where your destiny's taking you, where your future's taking you, is to do with an issue to do with your family or your home that is coming up. All right, something I want to talk about is, and I'll just make this bit bigger, this T-square here, and there we go. Okay, so first we have Venus and Mercury together, conjunct very close at 19 and 22 degrees. And so they're that's sort of like a beautiful peacemaking type of energy here concerning your connections or the groups that you belong with, and the way your communications are delivered is with some sort of courtesy or politeness in a genteel sort of fashion. However, on the opposite side here we have Mars retrograde, and the full moon will also be conjunct, which could make this a bit of an explosive situation. So you just have to rely on Venus here and ask Venus to help you out, to be polite, even though somebody might be causing an issue in the background. See here, this card. However, then we have Neptune here in your house of money. So money could be involved. This is personal finances. Just make sure that you see the situation clearly, because there can be illusion and delusion with Neptune. Sometimes people portray something and it's not the truth. It's not really as you think, and it could affect your finances in some way because you're looking at it, especially Neptune in Pisces, you're looking at it from a spiritual point of view. They're just looking at the cold hard dollars. So yeah, just watch those things all together. Now, looking at this further or more in depth, we do have from the 4th to the 30th Jupiter sextiles your Ascendant. Look, this is basically a fabulous time. It could be very harmonious and enjoyable for you. Your life is running more smoothly despite whatever conflicts, potential conflicts. And it doesn't mean that it has to turn into a full-blown conflict because you might see it coming. So forewarned is forearmed. So you can possibly avoid any sort of conflict, in fact, because your life is running quite well at the moment. Pressures and deadlines are probably going to be lifted, or some stress is lifted off your shoulders. You could also travel to an enjoyable event at this moment, and you know, you might not feel overly energetic, but that's okay. You don't need to be. On the 6th of December, Mercury also enters Capricorn here. This is the house of the subconscious, so you might start having dreams, pay more attention to your spiritual life, those little flashes in the daytime, and you know, you might start writing in a journal about all of the spiritual ideas that you're getting, okay? And that goes up until about the 22nd of the month, when we then go into the shadow period for Mercury retrograde on the 29th. Just be cautious there. It could sort of slow down, or perhaps there's some misunderstandings. The 7th to the 8th sees a full moon in Gemini, which is shaking things up here in your 5th house of creativity and romance. And your thinking could be quite influenced by subconscious forces. Maybe you're not as logical as you normally are, or you lose time, you lose track of time, or you feel a bit confused. And there could be some sort of glitchy communications as far as leisure and entertainment or romance. The 9th of December, Venus goes into Capricorn here in your 12th house. This brings a lovely, smooth, harmonious tone to your subconscious. You do have to be a little bit careful if somebody needs your help, because you're likely to help them. It's just that you probably won't receive any sort of reciprocation or recompense for it, as long as you're aware of that. The other thing with Venus here is sometimes you fancy someone, but they're unavailable to you in some way, so need to be discreet and very cautious about that. On the 20th of December, Jupiter enters Aries here. Jupiter will move into Aries. I didn't write it in for some reason. Got sidetracked. And this is fabulous for growing your self-promotion or marketing. This is fabulous for communications. You could be darting about town, getting a lot of things organised in your local area. Maybe you get to know more people. You just get a lot done. So it's also good for optimism and positivity. And it helps if you're studying. It helps with general learning, and your life generally becomes, you know, overall quite improved. And you could improve a situation with your neighbours as well if there's any issues there. Jupiter will be here for about a year, so it's working its magic. The 21st sees the Sun join the party here in your 12th house, bringing you insight and awareness as to what is going on deep down in your subconscious. You feel like you're more spiritual and you start to understand more about it. Your insight and psychic ability could also improve, and you gain a lot of wisdom here where you can share that with other people as well. The 23rd sees a new moon in Capricorn as well, starting something new here, bringing new beginnings to your spirituality and intuition. And again, you may feel more psychic as you live closer to the world of spirit. And there could be some sort of physical manifestation that takes place, which is, coming out of your newfound spiritual awareness, because you're getting little signs from spirit and seeds are now sown for the future. Christmas Day, if you celebrate Christmas on the 25th until the 1st of January, Mercury sextiles Moon. You're likely to feel inclined to speak to other people about your personal feelings or your past. And there's a general sort of trust that's built up in relationships, especially with women. You're likely to be quite a sympathetic listener, drawing out other people's feelings. And you may even hear from someone from the past, or reach out to somebody that you've had a long history with, or someone who was very important to you once. All right, awesome Aquarius, that's it. Thanks so much for listening to me. Leave a like or a comment, that'd be fabulous, and have a wonderful month. Thanks and bye for now. Hello, passionate Pisces. Thanks for joining me today to talk about your December horoscope. Okay, let's go to the board now, and I'll draw the cards because I like to do that because they often work in well with the horoscope. So 2 cards for the first and second half of the month. Let's see what comes out. I'll close my eyes. Strings of pearls here, so words of wisdom. Pearls of wisdom coming out of your mouth, passionate Pisces. Okay, let's see what card comes up. Okay, that one. The King of Wands. Okay, so this is about feeling very positively inspired and motivated to really achieve in the world this month, which is a little bit exciting, isn't it? And you might find that there's a lot of growth and opportunity. This is someone that's quite often a sort of noble, honest, conscientious sort of person, very much spiritually aware, but they funnel that hot sort of fiery spiritual energy into actually accomplishing stuff. So you could meet someone like this, or you could find it in yourself. You see here he's seated on a wooden throne because he's very practical. He's got a lizard down the bottom here because he's in charge, or he's in touch with his more base instincts, all right, but he's a king, so he's a master of this. That doesn't rule him. A lot of green for growth and opportunity, red for action, the yellow for success, and the gold around the throat up here. Very inspiring, very very positive messaging going out into the world, happiness and security. See, there's sunflowers like the sun, and a sense of being comfortable with it. Okay, so that's the first half of the month. Now let's look at the second half for you, passionate Pisces. What do I see? Yeah, so going upstairs, sometimes it feels like a bit of an effort. So I get you hanging on to a handrail here with the left hand going up. Just means you're taking action steps. They're not always easy, but you're getting there. Don't push yourself to go too fast, but you're getting there. That's the main thing. All right, the card that comes out, oh, there's 2 there. Which one will I pick? I'm going to go to the one underneath. Is the 4 of Wands. Wands again. Okay, so a month of positive inspiration for you. This card talks about an opportunity that's coming up. See all these leaves here, growth and opportunity, but it's in a frame. And so this is usually like a time frame. There's some sort of structure around it. It's not just freewheeling. It could be that it's only open for a certain time. Now you see here she has grapes. So this is about taking the reward, taking the harvest and enjoying a bit. Have some time off, enjoy your life a little bit. We all have to do that. Dressed in sort of this mustardy yellow colour, so there's some sort of success here, basically. So that's good news as well. So 4 of Wands, bear that in mind. And also indicates harmony and prosperity as well. Now, I'm going to make this a bit bigger so you can see better, because we're going to talk about your horoscope now. Okay, so first thing I want to talk about are these larger-than-life red triangles here. And the focal point is into the first house, which is how you present yourself to the world, your identity, what you look like, your appearance, okay? And it's here in Neptune. So you probably come across as a spiritual person. People might, when they meet you, they might sort of get a bit of a vibe that, you know, you're quite intuitive or perhaps even psychic with it. And we also have at the beginning of the month the moon here, so 22 and 25 and 28. All these three planets, Jupiter, the moon and Neptune, are conjunct, so their energies are all blending together. So it's very much about expanding who you are in the world, okay, and the messaging that you put out. So it's very good news to start the month there. You could also change your appearance, your hair, your makeup, your clothes. You could get organised and clean out your wardrobe. The other side of this, though, is Mars, which this is making a square. Now, when there's a square, it's often a bit of a challenge, but you get some reward at the end, okay? You can meet that challenge head on. Mars is retrograde, so it might not be as difficult as it could be, but it could still be a little bit peeved or miffed about something in the home and family situation, especially when the full moon comes along, and at some point, you know, after the full moon in, you know, a day or two, maybe it's conjunct. I think it'll be conjunct, and so that'll then bring a bit more extra turbulence to the mix. Over here we have Venus and Mercury here and here, just in there, and they'll blend their energies together, and you could be the peacemaker in a family situation. For example, this is one example. There's some sort of family situation where there's a disagreement or a blow-up or some problem about something, and you could be the peacemaker there. And it could be to do with a parent or an authority figure, because it's here in the 10th house. That can sometimes represent the mother in particular, and the mother because of the full moon here as well. Now, whatever it is will blow over, you know. Use that good sense of yours and that wisdom of yours to try and calm things down. On the 6th of December, Mercury is entering Capricorn here. We'll go over to here, bringing a lot of communications and fresh ideas that you share with your friends and your connections, perhaps about your hopes and dreams. There can be some concrete and practical results, and everything looks like it's going swimmingly well until about the 22nd, when we enter the shadow period of Mercury going retrograde on the 29th. And then we might find that things slow down, or there's a miscommunication or a misunderstanding or two. So just mark that in your diary, 22nd to about, say, the 25th of January. It actually goes direct on the 18th, but then again you've got shadow period after that. The 7th to the 8th, the full moon's in Gemini here, which I just mentioned, in your 4th house of home and family. You could be very much influenced by subconscious energies. You might find it's difficult to use your logical ability, or your communications are affected a bit. You're not as logical as what you could be, and especially involving your family members. So do watch for that. The 9th sees Venus going into Capricorn as well here, bringing a lovely smooth tone, like a harmonious tone, to smooth things over if there's any sort of issue. You could also start a new group. There's some sort of physical manifestation of affection, elegance, or spending your money. So perhaps you want to go out. So watch you don't go overboard with the spending, but it is fun to socialise with your friends. 17th of December to the 24th of December, Mars opposition your MC up here in your house of vocation and reputation. Look, this week you mightn't be feeling very energetic. Maybe you just don't feel motivated to achieve anything in the physical world, and there's Christmas coming up as well. Maybe somebody else can put on Christmas if that's a thing for you. It's not for everybody. But your energy needs to go more into your personal life, the home and family matters, rather than being shared out to the world. If you have been feeling a bit stressed at work or perhaps in life generally, there's, you need to look at some way of releasing that stress. Maybe you're going to go swimming or go for a walk in the mornings or something like that. Work in the garden helps. You can plant some tomatoes and dig, and that will help take the edge off the stress. On the 20th of December, Jupiter enters your second house here, which is fabulous for you for money. You'll breathe a sigh of relief, no doubt, and at some point Jupiter will conjunct Chiron here, and there'll be a healing around your money supply or perhaps your possessions. Jupiter spends a whole year in this sign, so this is 12 degrees in, so it might be about maybe 3 months before that happens. Okay, but with Jupiter, once Jupiter goes into the second house, you'll be more active and optimistic about your money, and maybe you'll be able to magnetize dollars to you in some way. Jupiter generally brings some sort of good luck, and your life can be improved, very much so. The 21st, the Sun is entering Capricorn here, along with the new moon on the 23rd, and this brings a lot of insight and awareness around your associations and friends and groups and your hopes and dreams. You can get some ground in these areas. You can gain some ground. And with the new moon, you'll probably have some new ideas, some fresh starts, some new beginnings. You can sow some seeds for the future here. And lastly, Mercury is sextile your co-ruler Jupiter, affecting your first and 11th houses of yourself and how you present yourself to the world and your hopes and dreams and your friends. Okay, they might notice that you've updated your appearance or you appear different in some way. Well, that's it, everyone. Thanks so much for joining me today, Passionate Pisces. Do leave a like or share, that would be appreciated, or a comment. Have a fabulous month. Thanks and bye for now.